Relax.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about my worst day of my life. So it all started one Saturday morning, like around 5 in the morning. I woke up from loud poundings on my door saying, "Tanya, wake up, wake up, wake up." So I ran to my door and it's my mom. She's like, "Tanya, we gotta go to the hospital. Your dad just called me telling me that your grandma's really, really sick." And I was like, "Why is she sick? I just saw her yesterday. She was fine. She was drinking her coffee in the morning like she always does." So I just go back into my room, I put on some sweatpants and I think it was like a Batman t-shirt I had on and some slippers, and we take off running. Like literally we ran to the car and I was asking my mom, "Wait, what's happening? What's going on?" And she's like, "I don't know, your dad just literally just called me telling me that sorry, I need you to be calm and just come with me to the hospital." I was like, "Okay." So I'm calling my dad because I want to talk to him, because my dad, he's always been the type of guy that when I talk to him, I get really calm when I'm nervous and whatnot. So I call him and he doesn't pick up, and I'm like, "Why is no one picking up?" I call my aunts, I call my cousins, everybody. So no one picks up. So finally my dad calls and I tell him, "What's going on? Is grandma okay?" He's all like, "Tanya, just listen to me. I just need you to be strong and I need you to be strong and just be on your way and stay strong for your mom as well." I was like, "Okay." So we get to the hospital and obviously we check in. I'm like, "Yeah, I'm here to see my grandma and whatnot." So one of the nurses leads us to the wait, because I guess she was like in a room where like not a lot of people, it was like an isolated room. So we get there and she's inside like this glass room, like everything was glass. So I was scared, like I'm like, "Wait, why is she in those type of rooms?" I've never ever seen those type of rooms in a hospital. So I go in there and she's like laying down, like really like just laying down. And my dad was in there, so it was just me, my mom, and my dad in there. And I hugged my grandma really tight. I'm like, "Grandma, what's wrong?" And then she could hardly speak, and all she told me is like, "I want water." And I'm like, and I just looked at her like, you want water?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm thirsty." And I was like, "Okay." So I told my dad, "Where can I get water?" She's like, "Oh, there's like water bottles right there. Just get it and hand it to her." So I get the water bottle and I help her drink it. And when I saw her drinking that water, it was it was indescribable, because like her face when she was drinking that water, it's like if she never had water like ever in her life. Like she was drinking it like it had taste in it, like it was really really good. And I just looked at her like, why is she so thirsty? Like her lips were really dry as well. So I just, people were talking around me. I don't really remember what they were saying. All I remember just like analyzing my grandma, just hugging her. So then later my dad tells me and my mom, "Okay, we need to go to the waiting room because I guess your grandma's gonna get surgery." I was like, "Okay." So by then I was like, "Okay, then she's gonna be okay. She's gonna get surgery. Everything's gonna be fine." So as I'm in the waiting room, I start remembering things like when I was little, like when I would spend time with my grandma. And one thing I remember is me going to Mervin's. I was probably like 6 years old, and she was like paying something like with the debit card, and her telling me, "Do I sign here?" And I remember she didn't know how to sign like a signature, and that flashback came to my head, and I started crying. So I was like, "No, she's gonna be okay." So I go back home, shower, eat something, because like I said, it was really early. This was about 6 p.m. already. So then I received a phone call from my cousin telling me, "Oh, grandma passed away already." But in my thought, I was like, she did not pass away. She was gonna get surgery and whatnot. So then I told my mom, "Mom, my cousin just called," and my mom was like, "Yes, I know, we're going to the hospital." But I was numb. I didn't feel anything. I didn't feel like crying. I had no reaction, nothing. So we get to the hospital, and this time the room where she's at, it was like a big room. And they had like clouds like painted like in the sky and everything. So I go in and she's already like laying down and she was already dead. So the first thing I do, I hug her like really high, really hard, and like I kiss her and I tell her like, "I'm really sorry I wasn't here and whatnot." And like when sorry so I just hugged her. I didn't realize like anything, like who was there or nothing. So then the nurse literally tells us like, "Oh, she has to go already because they need to take her." So then I remember getting out of the room and just feeling like all my body was about to fall. I didn't have no control of my own body. So then I guess I fainted, because when I woke up I had like an ice pack in my forehead. and I was sitting down, and my parents was just like, show me that you're a strong girl and whatnot. So then after, I remember, like, I don't know how we left the hospital, who took us or nothing. I just remember being in the car and telling my mom, why is life like this and whatnot. So then that day I realized that life is so beautiful, and that that nobody should take it for granted, and you gotta live like the best day by day out of your life, because you never know what's gonna happen. And that was like the worst day of my life.